real brother Louie. On the real brother Louie.
Greetings. I am Legacy Moon, and this is True Crime and Mysteries Rewind. June 26, 2023.
078, Ernest Williams, 355 days without indictment, $75,000 good bond as of December the 31st, 2022, with 3 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony. The 4 is 22 CP 212559, 355 days without indictment, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony. And there is a $20,000 split bond as of 10/17/2022. Position 5, 355 days without indictment, 23 CP 215407. I'm assuming you want me to waive, Mr. Lewis?
Sure.
All right. I can say it if you want me to, or do you want me to waive?
I don't think Mr. Williams cares. Well, wait, Judge.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
She's talking about saying CP.
There that have to do with the nudity, let's say. No bond as of January the 13th, 2023.
So in regards to Mr. Williams, still other open cases, 22 SC 18443, theft by taking, theft by deception, 22 SC 184402, theft of services, deposit account fraud. Both of those are assigned to Judge Edwards. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
All right, Judge. You mentioned all the days on Mr. Williams. I don't find it to be a good use of anybody's time.
Now, keep in mind, these are the CP charges, and we'll get to that.
And to go back through all of that. I believe Mr. Williams, my client, is now 59 years old. When I believe when this case first began, he was 58 years of age. Judge, he was born in Augusta, Georgia. He has lived in the Atlanta area since 1994. From 2015 to 2019, he lived in California. He got married in 2015, Judge. He is the father of 6 kids.
That don't fool with him.
Grandchildren, some of them in the state of Georgia. His oldest granddaughter is a student at Georgia State University.
Just in case anyone was wondering, this is, as you heard, Crell Lewis, and he is sort of fumbling and bumbling through this hearing right now. I would think that I won't say normal. I just think that when you are presenting or doing those types of things in court, your client's history shouldn't be a stumbling block. You should at least rehearse and memorize it so you could just kind of spit it out. That's all I'm saying.
Judge, he has owned grooming parlors, some barbershops.
Stumbling, bumbling.
Both in Peachtree and Far Road, as well as in Sandy Springs. He sold some businesses, some land to the city of Atlanta in 2016 from those first sets of business. In 2021, he opened a new location, Nesto's Grooming, which tears down from the old location. That business has been dissolved partially because of what is going on today with him sitting in. So in other words, he's losing money from his businesses from being in here. And
he didn't have any.
Testified also to by one of the law enforcement officers from Roswell. He had owned an unarmed security service, Nesto's elite security company, where he had a number of 1099 persons working for him. Judge, my client has a number of felonies in his past. Those felonies go all the way back to the 80s. He's got he's got one in 2008, which looks like it is a merger, meaning when they're doing the sentence on one.
That means that he also has felonies in 2000 and whatever date you're about to name.
One, they're doing the sentence on the other. And there is a deal, and my client decides to take the deal. His wife resides in Buckhead, and you will see, and I think that is the Buckhead community. She doesn't say Buckhead on her affidavit, but she does reside in Fulton County and in Buckhead. Judge, his history, there's nothing in the last 10 years. He's never been in one of these cases accused him of attempting to pass somebody off as a lawyer. His co-defendant in that case has a consent signature bond that has been signed off on. I believe Mr. Majeski can tell you more about.
Now, we all know who that is. That is his co-defendant, Erica Kane. And of course, you know, Nesto's thing is he thought she was a lawyer. Okay, cool. You thought she was a lawyer. She told you she was a lawyer. But when you were appearing in court for dispossessories and I think even a criminal case, maybe, I could be wrong, but you knew when she was saying and signing things saying April Holloway, you knew that wasn't her name. You know, when she said she was the attorney India or Irene something, you knew that wasn't her name because you're saying you only know her as Erica King. You're saying you didn't even know her as Erica Hughley. So I just wanted to interrupt and make that point right there.
About that when he do it. He has never himself been involved or accused or convicted of anything that involves a person passing themselves off as a lawyer or impersonating anybody ever in life. This last case that came about involves, if my understanding is correct, and I don't know because I haven't received discovery on it since it hasn't been indicted, a single photograph that was found on a computer that the prosecution, well, not even the prosecution at this point, I guess it's still the police because it's not indicted or accused, claimed was my client's and that he was in possession of either the computer or the photograph that's on there. My client has never been accused of anything involving nudity or anything else with children.
Can I say this, what people don't understand, because I know his sidebird does this too. You know, at some point, people who deal in CP, who like to have relations, if you want to call it that, with minors, these people aren't caught until they're caught. How many of you have opened up the paper and seen where a 75-year-old grandpa has been arrested for touching his grandchild or the next door neighbor's kid? You know, that may be his first time getting caught, but that does not mean that that is his first time ever committing that type of crime. You know, no, you don't have a history of it until you're caught. Then once you're caught, then your history begins. I don't understand why people don't get that. Including
he has been convicted of things like armed robbery in his past, and that occurred in Cobb County. I believe he was sentenced to 5 years back then on that. Bank fraud when he came to pick up a check that they said was cleared, and he was arrested on the scene. That's his federal case. So that's the kind of stuff my client has been convicted of in his past. And so far, nothing else has happened on these cases. The oldest you've quoted the dates on, the youngest you've quoted the dates on, all of those dates are beyond the 90 days, some of them beyond 180 days. So what I'm asking for, Judge, is on every last one of these cases, if and where you can, that you enter in a unsecured judicial release that mirrors his co-defendant on one case that she has with him that was consented to, and on another case where there's 14 counts where she engages or is alleged to have engaged in similar behavior as to what she is accused of in this case. On the rest of them, Judge, I'm asking for a UJR, but in no instance of an amount of a bond greater than $5,000 per count. On one of the bonds, I believe that you signed, Judge, you tell him he can't be with his wife. I'm going to ask that you...
Is that Melody Scretchen?
No, it's the other lady, the SS lady.
Oh, Strawberry.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, let him be with his wife before we end up having a divorce matter in Fulton County. Judge, also, you tell him he can't reside. I have an affidavit. His wife is a person of some public notoriety. She's given me the affidavit, Judge. I did not file it in because if it's filed, she likes to kind of remain private where she can and when she can. And so she asked that you take the necessary measures. If you want that filed in the court, we can do that. We can publish it directly to you right now so that her address doesn't become common knowledge for her public. Although she loves her public to death, she wants some privacy occasionally as well.
Okay, that's where I want to begin. I just kind of wanted you to get a summary in case, because, this thing, there are so many roads that we're going down and corners that we're turning on this case. Sometimes it's good to review. But this is what I want to talk about, the affidavit. Now, I have looked high and low all day. And just because I didn't find it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means I just didn't find it. It could be on phone calls from prison, their Patreon, their members. But I didn't go there because I'm not going to play. If I can't play it, I'm not going to... No, that's not what I want to say. If it's, say, for example, if it's on Patreon or in members, I'm not going to play it. But I was looking for the call where he thanks Shirley for signing the affidavit. And she says, what affidavit? Okay. Now, I found that interesting when it was said the first time we heard it. Then when I was watching a review of this hearing again the other day, I realized something that I heard him say. He said she did an affidavit, but he didn't file it in. He says he has it, and he says she did it, but he hasn't filed it. He said he could if, if the court wanted it, and he'd like to keep it private because he didn't want her name out there. I found that interesting because the other day was the first time I caught that. I heard affidavit and, that was it, but it never even triggered my mind that the attorney said that it was not filed. Before I continue, I'd like to welcome back my current subscribers. I'd like to welcome those of you who check in on me sometimes but haven't yet subscribed, and welcome to those of you who are here on this platform for the very first time. Now let's get on this call that takes place June the 29th, 2023. That is 3 days after the hearing that I just played a snippet of. And let's listen to what Sonia has to say.
And that's what, first and foremost in their life, and that's what they're going to choose.
He must have called them what they call her.
I didn't ask. Yeah, I don't know. It could go either way.
Right. Right. He said a whole lot of things. I don't know. I ain't got nothing to say.
That's something separate.
They're talking about Shirley and a conversation she had with Lamont.
That doesn't have anything to do with me, so I don't have a comment. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
You get me? That's something separate. I mean,
Right.
he didn't mention the other thing. The mention of, they kept saying girlfriend. He didn't say if she said anything about that part. She just said she could lose her job, so that could only be the charges. You get me?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it could be a bad look on her, too, with the other thing, because that's what she does, give out relationship advice, you know? And they could be like, girl, you want to talk, you know? So,
Right.
I mean, I guess I could focus on it, too, as well. But, I mean, I didn't ask. I just listened and you know, when I was talking about something else, I don't.
I love it when a side chick talks about a married man's wife.
Comment. My thing is, because I don't want to make a comment, because that's your people. You know what I'm saying? They talk to me, talk to you, and that's it.
Oh, okay. So,
you know what I'm saying? I try to stay out the way.
Right. Well, you know, it is what it is. I'm out here solo. Did the lady call you? Did they text you back? The girl, sister.
No, she didn't say anything.
They didn't say shit.
Hold on. I don't think they're going to respond because of how it is. I think she did see it.
Yeah.
But no, she didn't respond back. So.
Okay.
But they have it. Do you want them to come and see you?
And who she's talking about now is Hannah.
I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to do?
You just wait it out then.
Yeah, I'm going to wait it out. Because it's basically, that right there, that put the dagger in me right there. Straight the fuck up. And everything.
I just really think when he put that, I really think because it has to have happened prior, because it got the whole thing, I think it was that affidavit, how he worded it and how he filed it. And then he said in court that he didn't file it, but he did file it because I saw it.
Yes.
You did file it.
Yeah.
So what were you even talking about? Remember I told you I said something?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Now remember I said, he said he got an affidavit and he didn't file it. Now this is what his attorney said on record. He has it, but it's not filed. And Sonia said she knows it was filed because she saw it. How does she know so much about this affidavit? And why would his attorney say that he didn't file it if he did? I'm lost. Is anybody else?
If something was filed, and we said it's before court. He filed it the day of, but he filed it before 5 o'clock. He filed it around, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something around there. So it was filed.
Now, see, here's the thing. If in case you don't know, Judge Manning's court, a lot of times is in the evening when she's doing the bond hearings. So the fact that it was filed at 3, you would have been able to see it by 5. But what I don't get is the discrepancy. Why did his attorney say he did not file it? And why is Sonia saying that he did file it? And how did she see it? And how does she know what it says? Which further brings me into what is really going on with her and his attorney. That's all I'm saying. She just knows, for someone who doesn't have anything to do with his marriage, she's not going to speak on anything. She sure knows a lot about what Shirley Strawberry has done and is doing. I don't understand that.
With her name out there. With her whole name. He didn't, I told you what it said. With her whole name out there. And that's what he should not have done.
Well,
he should have just said affidavit in support of bond hearing.
He didn't say her name. He did not say that. He said his wife, well, by then everybody figured out who she was. But you can never tell what this girl is talking about because she lies.
Hearing. That's what he should have did. He should have said affidavit of her.
Well,
spotlight on there, dude.
That's cool. That's cool.
All your bonds have posted on your thing under your name at the jail. So it does say it. So it's every bond, every case holds a bond except for 1, 2. Is it? That's the service and deposit. of that check. Everything else has a bond on it.
What about the death by taking? Are you looking at it now?
I don't see death by taking. I see death of service, death by deception, which they didn't. You have a bond on death by deception. The other one wasn't presented.
No,
so,
but taking too.
I don't see it. It doesn't say it on here, and there's no death by taking. It just says death of service, deposit, or fraud.
That's it?
That's all I see. Yeah.
It's supposed to be another one too, though. Death by taking and credit.
Okay, so that one didn't meet the jury.
Hold on.
I know what you're talking about.
It's already been indicted.
But I'm looking at your jail, Suffolk County jail thing, and it doesn't have it on here. So.
Now, it could have been, she could have looked and found the affidavit. But what I'm saying is I just don't get why he said it wasn't filed. He didn't file it. And she's saying he did file it. I don't know. I mean, I know I've seen the affidavit. So there is one, but I don't get the discrepancy. And furthermore, I wish I had been able to find that call, but I wanted to know if Shirley did sign this affidavit, why was she playing like she didn't know what he was talking about when he thanked her for signing the affidavit? Or, as Nesto says, the Affidavit. So that's all I wanted. I just wanted to go over that affidavit part because that is just really bothering me. And I didn't know if anybody has anything that they can add to it or that they have figured out, let me know because I'm curious. Now, I will say, if this affidavit was filed by the time, if it was filed, so let's say, for example, it was filed and Sonia can pull it up and she sees it and she tells him what it says. But to me, when she's talking about this affidavit, it doesn't, on one hand, I want to say she did physically see it because she looked it up. And then on another hand, I want to say, I don't think she saw what it said by looking it up. You know what I mean? I am just iffy about this affidavit. Now, I also want to mention in this same call that later on, Daryl is added, to the call. And they talk. But here's what I want to say about all of that. So we've got Shirley. She's married to this man. Now, Shirley doesn't know anything about Sonia yet. And we also know that at one point when Nesto was talking about his CP charges the first time, he had said to Shirley, I'd rather be caught cheating than, expose myself to something like that. And I thought that's very interesting because Shirley was like, oh, yeah, of course. That's very interesting because here we have Daryl, Lamont, Dion, Dre. They all know about Sonia. Then we've got Shirley over here who doesn't know about Sonia. All of these people who are supposedly looking out for Shirley also know that Nesto has Sonia on the side, and they know this. And who knows how many other women they have known about. I just think this is all, the further Shirley gets away from all of them, the better she will be, because this is just ridiculous, totally ridiculous. In addition to that, Sonia knows how to just at the ready call all these people. Now, perhaps when Nesto could use that iPad, maybe he was texting her the different phone numbers and things, but He could barely remember his wife's number. Remember that from when he got arrested? So how's he remembering all these other people's numbers just like that off the top of his head? There's just something else in here in this grease that's burnt, because none of this is not, when after you listen and re-listen to different calls, you kind of start to catch things that you didn't catch the first, second, or third time. You catch it and you have to think about it. How does she know? She knows all of his people. She knows all of their numbers. And like I said, he could have given her all of that, through the iPad, through going back and forth. Who knows? But it's just the whole idea that all of these people know this and nobody cares. They all claim to care about Shirley. They all claim to look out for her. But no one is telling her that this man is running around with this other woman. I'm also trying to pin down their relationship because, Sonia lies so much. And once we knew the story about them meeting at a gas station, she's tried to rewrite that part of the script multiple times. But I'm trying to figure out what year this was, because I heard something the other day and it's got me thinking that the two of them met in 2018 or early 2019. We know that he tested out her new fun bags. Now, I don't know if he knew her before she got the fun bags or if he met her afterwards, but he thanked her for letting him be the first person to try them out. So, I don't know. So this was just a little trip back down memory lane. Let me know what your thoughts are. I thank you for listening. I am Legacy Moon. If you are not subscribed, go on up there, hit that subscribe button, and tap that notification bell so that you know when I upload my next video. And if you would please do me this one favor, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, because I would like to be counted high in the rhythm of Al.